The evening arrived slowly, without any rush, as if the day itself had decided to rest. The sky softened into gentle shades of deep blue, and the world outside became quieter with every passing moment. Inside the room, everything felt calm and safe. The air was warm, steady, and comforting. Nothing demanded attention. Nothing needed to be done. A soft stillness settled into the space, wrapping the walls and the floor in a quiet embrace. The window stood peacefully, allowing the night to exist just beyond it, distant and gentle. Time began to feel different. Minutes stretched longer, moving at a slower, kinder pace. The worries of the day faded naturally, like distant sounds dissolving into silence. Breathing became deeper, smoother. Each breath felt easy and unforced, flowing in and out like a calm tide. The body recognized this moment as a safe one, a moment meant for rest. Outside, the evening continued its quiet transformation. Lights in the distance remained soft and unmoving. Nothing changed suddenly. Everything stayed exactly as it should. The room felt like a small island of peace, floating gently within the night. Here, there was no urgency, only comfort, only calm. And as the evening settled fully into place, a sense of quiet reassurance filled the air. The comforting feeling that the night had just begun, and it would be long, gentle, and kind. The window rested quietly in its place, simple and unchanged, as if it had always been there to watch over the night. It did not demand attention, yet its presence felt comforting and familiar. Beyond the glass, the world appeared calm and distant. The outside did not intrude. It simply existed, softly and peacefully, like a painting that never moved. The glass reflected a faint warmth from inside the room, blending gently with the darkness beyond. There was no sharp contrast, only a smooth transition between light and shadow. Standing near the window felt reassuring. It created a quiet boundary between the safety of the room and the stillness of the night. Nothing crossed that boundary. Nothing disturbed the calm. The night outside seemed patient. It waited without expectation, offering silence rather than sound, stillness rather than motion. Breathing near the window felt natural and slow. Each breath carried a sense of ease, as though the air itself encouraged relaxation. The body responded instinctively, loosening gently, letting go without effort. Thoughts became fewer, softer. They drifted by like distant clouds, never lingering long enough to matter. There was no need to follow them. The window remained exactly as it was, steady, quiet, and comforting. A peaceful opening to a world that had already gone to rest. And in that moment, with nothing changing and nothing required, the calm grew deeper, settling gently into both the room and the mind. A gentle breeze moved quietly through the night, barely noticeable, yet softly present. It did not rush. It did not insist. It simply passed, like a calm whisper meant only to soothe. The sound it carried was faint and smooth, almost blending into the silence itself. It was the kind of sound that did not awaken the mind, but instead invited it to rest. Nothing outside stirred too much. The breeze touched the night lightly, then moved on, leaving the stillness untouched. Inside, the air felt calm and steady. The quiet sound from afar added comfort rather than distraction. It felt natural, like the world breathing slowly along with everything inside the room. Each breath seemed to match the rhythm of the breeze, slow, gentle, unhurried. The body responded without thought. Shoulders softened, the jaw relaxed. The space between thoughts widened. The breeze did not linger. Yet its presence remained as a gentle reminder. The night was calm, and there was no need to be alert. Silence returned easily, smoother than before. The kind of silence that feels full, not empty. The kind that carries peace. Far away in the distance, soft lights rested quietly against the night. They didn't flicker. They did not move. They simply existed, calm and steady. These lights felt gentle, like small reminders that the world was at peace. They were not close enough to demand attention, and not bright enough to disturb the calm. From inside the room, they appeared faint and reassuring. Their presence added warmth to the darkness, creating balance rather than contrast. Nothing around them changed. They stayed exactly where they were, patient and unmoving, as if time had slowed just for them. The mind noticed the lights briefly, then relaxed. There was no need to focus, no need to wonder. They felt distant in the best possible way, close enough to be comforting, far enough to remain quiet. Breathing remained slow and easy. The body continued to soften, sinking deeper into stillness. The lights held their place in the night, quietly watching, quietly resting. And in their gentle glow, the sense of safety grew stronger, spreading calmly through the room. Everything felt settled. Nothing was missing. Nothing was required. And with the breeze gone, the calm stayed behind, deeper and more settled, preparing the mind and body for rest. Silence arrived gently, without any sudden change. It did not fall heavily, nor did it feel empty. It felt soft, complete, and reassuring. This silence was not the absence of sound, but the presence of calm. A calm that wrapped around the room and settled comfortably in the air. Nothing needed to be heard, nothing needed to be said. The quiet itself felt enough. Breathing became almost unnoticeable, smooth and steady. Each breath flowed naturally, without effort or thought. The mind slowed even further. Thoughts no longer formed clearly. They softened, faded, and drifted away before taking shape. The body rested in this silence as if it recognized it from long ago. Muscles loosened gently. The weight of the day disappeared. Time seemed to pause, not stopping completely, but moving so slowly that it no longer mattered. In this moment of gentle silence, everything felt safe and balanced. There was no need to change anything, no need to move. And within this quiet, peaceful stillness, rest felt closer than ever. The warmth of the room felt gentle and steady, never too much, never too little. It surrounded everything quietly, creating a sense of comfort that required no attention. This warmth was not only in the air, but in the feeling of being held and protected, as if the space itself understood the need for rest. The body responded naturally. Arms and legs felt heavier, more relaxed. There was no tension left to hold. The warmth encouraged stillness. It invited the body to remain exactly where it was, calm and unbothered. Breathing stayed slow and deep. Each breath carried a quiet sense of ease, spreading relaxation with every gentle rise and fall. The mind softened further. Thoughts felt distant, unimportant, and easy to release. Nothing needed solving. Nothing needed remembering. The room remained peaceful and unchanged. The warmth stayed constant, like a quiet promise that the night would remain kind. In this steady comfort, the sense of rest grew stronger, deeper, and more natural, as if sleep was already close, waiting patiently. Breathing became the only thing that mattered, though it required no attention at all. Each breath moved slowly, calmly, and without effort. The air entered gently, filling the chest in a smooth and natural way. Then it left just as softly, carrying away any remaining tension. There was no need to control the breath. It knew exactly what to do. The body followed its rhythm instinctively. With every slow breath, the space inside felt quieter. The heart settled into a steady, peaceful pace. The body sank deeper into comfort. Thoughts faded further into the background. They no longer asked to be noticed. They simply drifted away, one by one. The breath continued its calm movement, steady and reassuring, in and out, slow and gentle. The mind rested in this rhythm, free from effort or focus. Nothing else mattered in this moment. And as breathing remained calm and unbroken, the night seemed to hold everything in quiet harmony, preparing the way for deeper rest. Outside, the night rested peacefully, as if it had already fallen asleep. There was no movement that asked for attention. Everything remained calm and still. The darkness felt gentle, never heavy. It wrapped the outside world in quiet comfort, allowing everything to rest exactly as it was. No sudden sounds appeared. No changes interrupted the calm. The night simply remained present, steady and kind. From within the room, the stillness outside felt reassuring. It created a sense of distance from the day, making the world feel slower and softer. The body relaxed even more deeply, responding to the silence beyond the walls. Muscles loosened without effort. The sense of alertness faded completely. The night held its place quietly, offering rest rather than mystery. It asked for nothing. It gave calm in return. And as the outside remained silent and peaceful, the inside followed, sinking gently toward deeper relaxation. Somewhere far away, a very soft sound existed, barely noticeable. It did not come closer. It did not grow louder. It remained distant and calm. The sound felt familiar, like something the mind recognized as safe. It carried no meaning, no message, only reassurance. It blended gently with the silence, never interrupting it. Instead, it seemed to support the quiet, giving it depth and warmth. The body did not react with alertness. It remained relaxed, heavy, and still. The sound asked nothing in return. Breathing stayed slow and even. The rhythm of rest continued without change. Thoughts did not form around the sound. They did not follow it. They simply rested alongside it. The distant presence remained exactly where it was, calm and steady, like a quiet reminder that everything was in order. And as the sound faded naturally into the background, the sense of peace grew deeper, settling gently into the night. Time began to slow in a gentle and comforting way. Moments stretched softly, without pressure or direction. There was no sense of urgency, no need to hurry forward. The present moment felt wide and peaceful. Seconds passed quietly, almost unnoticed. They blended together, forming a calm flow that felt natural and kind. The body no longer measured time. It rested within it, free from schedules and expectations. Breathing remained slow and smooth, matching the softened pace of the night. Each breath felt timeless, uncounted. The mind accepted this stillness easily. There was nothing to plan, nothing to recall. Time continued its gentle pause, offering rest rather than movement. It allowed everything to remain exactly as it was. And in this slowed rhythm, calm deepened naturally, guiding the body and mind closer to peaceful sleep. The body began to notice the stillness in a deeper way, as if it had been waiting for this exact moment. Nothing asked it to move. Nothing required effort. A gentle heaviness settled into the arms first, not uncomfortable, but comforting, like a soft weight reminding the body that it was safe to rest. The hands felt warm and loose, fingers no longer holding any tension. Slowly, the shoulders softened. The quiet tension that had been carried throughout the day released itself naturally, without thought or intention. They dropped just a little, settling into a more natural, peaceful position. The chest rose and fell in a steady rhythm. Each breath flowed smoothly, carrying calm deeper inside. With every exhale, the body let go just a bit more. The back found support, feeling held rather than pressed. Muscles along the spine relaxed one by one, creating a sense of ease that spread outward gently. The legs felt heavier now, resting fully. The thighs, the knees, the calves all settled into stillness. There was no need to adjust, no reason to move. The feet grew warm and relaxed, toes resting naturally. The body felt complete, whole, and comfortable, exactly as it was. The face softened without effort. The jaw loosened. The space between the eyebrows smoothed. Even the smallest muscles began to rest. The body no longer held the day. It released it fully, trusting the quiet of the night. Time continued to move slowly, almost unnoticed. The body rested within that slowness, sinking deeper into comfort. There was no boundary between effort and rest now. Only rest remained. And in this gentle state, the body felt fully at ease, calm, supported, and ready to drift naturally towards sleep. Thoughts began to change their nature, becoming softer and less defined. They no longer arrived sharply or demanded attention. Instead, they appeared gently, like distant echoes that faded before fully forming. The mind felt spacious and light. There was room to breathe, room to rest. Nothing crowded the silence. Ideas drifted through slowly, without urgency or meaning. They didn't connect to one another. They didn't create stories or concerns. Each thought passed like a slow-moving cloud, thin and quiet, leaving the sky of the mind open and clear behind it. There was no need to hold on to anything, no need to remember, analyze, or plan. The mind understood that this moment was meant only for rest. Attention softened, no longer fixed on any single point. It widened gently, then dissolved into a calm awareness. Breathing continued naturally, steady and unforced. With each breath, the mind released a little more weight. The silence between thoughts grew longer. Those spaces felt peaceful, complete, and safe. The mind rested comfortably in those spaces, without effort or intention. It no longer searched for stimulation. Everything slowed together, breath, awareness, and thought, moving in quiet harmony. And within this gentle mental stillness, a deeper calm settled in, preparing the way for smooth, restful sleep. The night no longer felt like something outside the room. It felt close, familiar, and gentle, like a quiet companion that asked for nothing. Darkness rested softly, never heavy, never overwhelming. It did not hide anything. It simply allowed everything to rest. The quiet of the night carried reassurance. There was nothing unknown to fear, nothing waiting to interrupt the calm. The mind recognized this presence as safe. It stopped observing and began to trust. Breathing slowed even further, becoming deep and steady. Each inhale felt full and calm. Each exhale released the last traces of tension. The night felt patient. It did not rush the body towards sleep. It waited kindly, allowing rest to arrive naturally. Sounds remained distant or non-existent. Silence held the space gently, like a soft blanket around awareness. The body remained still, heavy, and comfortable. There was no urge to shift or adjust. The night stayed close, offering stillness and quiet companionship. It felt like a friend sitting nearby, present but unobtrusive. And in this calm companionship, a deeper sense of ease spread through both mind and body, making sleep feel effortless and welcome. Beyond the glass, the world remained quiet and unchanged. Nothing moved with urgency. Nothing demanded attention. The view outside felt distant, yet comforting. It existed peacefully, separate from the warmth inside, but never threatening. The glass itself felt like a gentle boundary, clear, calm, and protective. It allowed the night to be seen without letting it disturb the stillness of the room. Light and darkness met softly at the surface of the window. Neither overpowered the other. They blended naturally, creating balance. The outside world seemed to rest in place, as if time had slowed there as well. No sudden shifts, no unexpected sounds. Inside, the body responded to this calm separation. It felt safe, enclosed, and at ease. Breathing remained slow and quiet. Awareness softened further, no longer focused outward. The glass held the view gently, like a frame around stillness. There was nothing beyond it that required attention. And in this peaceful division between inside and outside, the sense of rest deepened, allowing comfort to settle fully. A deep sense of safety settled quietly into the space, steady and unshaken. It did not arrive suddenly. It grew gently, like warmth spreading slowly. The body recognized this feeling immediately. There was no need to remain alert. Nothing required protection or attention. Every part of the body felt supported. The surface beneath felt stable and comfortable, holding weight without pressure. Breathing remained calm and natural. Each breath reinforced a sense of security, grounding the body deeper into rest. The mind softened further, releasing its last need to observe or question. Thoughts no longer searched for meaning or explanation. The night continued to hold its quiet presence. Nothing intruded. Nothing changed. The feeling of safety was complete, covering everything gently. There was nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. In this calm assurance, the body rested fully, trusting the stillness around it. And within this steady sense of protection, rest deepened naturally, opening the door to peaceful sleep. The rhythm of the heart became calm and steady, moving without urgency or strain. Each beat felt gentle, balanced, and natural. There was no racing, no tension, only a smooth, quiet pulse flowing comfortably through the body. The chest felt relaxed, open, and at ease. With every breath, the heart settled deeper into its peaceful rhythm. The mind no longer noticed the heartbeat actively. It simply trusted it, allowing it to continue quietly in the background. The body rested in harmony with this steady rhythm. Nothing felt rushed. Nothing felt delayed. Warmth spread softly through the chest and outward, reinforcing the sense of calm. The heart carried comfort rather than energy. Time felt distant now, unimportant. The steady rhythm created its own quiet sense of continuity. Breathing and heartbeat moved together, synchronized naturally, in and out, slow and even. The heart remained calm, confident, and steady, a quiet companion guiding the body toward deeper rest. And in this gentle rhythm, the body and mind relaxed further, sinking peacefully into stillness. The eyes began to feel heavier, not with strain, but with comfort. The muscles around them softened naturally, releasing the last traces of effort from the day. The eyelids rested gently, as if they had slowly remembered how to be still. There was no need to keep them alert, no need to focus or observe. Vision faded into softness. Shapes lost their edges. Light became distant and unimportant. The eyes no longer searched the room. They rested quietly in their place, calm and undisturbed. Behind the closed lids, darkness felt smooth and even. It did not shift or change. It simply existed, steady and peaceful. The muscles of the face continued to relax. The forehead smoothed. The space around the eyes felt warm and loose. Breathing remained slow and steady, supporting this gentle release. With every breath out, the eyes sank deeper into rest. There was no effort left to hold them open, no reason to look anywhere else. The eyes rested fully now, disconnected from the need to see. Awareness softened further, drifting inward. And in this gentle surrender of sight, the mind followed, letting go quietly and preparing for deeper, effortless sleep. Sleep began to feel closer now, not sudden and not forced, but gentle and patient. It approached quietly, like a soft presence moving without sound. The mind no longer resisted. There was nothing to hold on to, nothing to follow. Awareness softened further, becoming lighter and less defined. Thoughts no longer appeared as clear ideas, but as faint impressions that dissolved almost immediately. The space between waking and sleeping widened. It felt calm, safe, and welcoming. Breathing remained slow and smooth, guiding the body deeper into comfort. Each breath seemed to carry the mind slightly farther from the surface of wakefulness. Images did not form clearly. There were no sharp dreams yet, only a sense of drifting, floating gently without direction. The body remained still, heavy, and completely relaxed. There was no awareness of position, no need to adjust. Time lost its meaning entirely. Moments blended together, soft and uncounted. The approaching dream felt warm and familiar, like returning to a place known long ago. There was no excitement, no urgency, only ease. The mind accepted this transition naturally, allowing itself to drift without effort. Stillness settled completely, without effort or resistance. There was no movement left to notice, no sound asked to be heard. The body rested in absolute calm, as if it had become part of the quiet itself. There was no sense of weight or lightness, only ease. Breathing continued naturally, so soft it barely registered. Each breath blended seamlessly into the next. The mind no longer formed thoughts. There was nothing to follow, nothing to release. Awareness became smooth and uninterrupted. The space felt open and gentle, free from edges or boundaries. Everything existed in the same peaceful state. Time disappeared entirely. There was no before or after, only this calm presence. The night held everything in perfect balance. Nothing shifted, nothing needed to. The body and mind rested together, unified in stillness. There was no separation between them now. This silence was complete, comforting, and safe. It did not feel empty. It felt full and whole. And within this total stillness, rest reached its deepest point, preparing gently for sustained, peaceful sleep. The room itself seemed to relax, as if it were breathing softly along with everything inside it. Nothing stood apart. Everything felt unified and calm. Walls held their quiet presence without sound or movement. The floor felt steady and supportive, resting beneath everything with ease. The air remained warm and still, carrying no changes, no interruptions. It felt settled, complete. Light was no longer noticeable. Shadow no longer mattered. The room existed in perfect balance. The body rested fully within this space, undisturbed and at ease. There was no awareness of edges or limits. The room did not watch. It did not listen. It simply rested. Time had no place here. The room existed beyond it, steady and calm. Breathing remained slow and gentle, blending naturally with the quiet atmosphere. The room felt like a shelter of rest, holding everything without effort. It asked for nothing. It offered peace in return. And as the room rested, the body and mind followed, remaining in deep, comfortable stillness. The day slowly faded away, not with an ending, but with a gentle release. There was no moment of separation, only a soft letting go. Memories of the day lost their shape and weight. They no longer asked to be remembered. They drifted quietly into the background. The mind felt light, free from the need to review or reflect. Everything that needed to happen had already passed. The body accepted this transition easily. There was nothing left to carry forward. Breathing remained calm and steady, supporting the sense of closure and ease. Each breath out felt like a quiet farewell. The night fully took its place, warm and unhurried. There was no contrast between day and night now, only rest. Time felt distant and irrelevant. The present moment held everything gently. The feeling of completion settled deeply. Nothing was unfinished. Nothing was waiting. And with the day released so softly, the body and mind rested completely, ready to remain in peaceful sleep. A gentle heaviness settled into awareness, calm and comforting. It was not resistance and not effort, only a deep pull toward rest. The boundary between thought and silence softened even more. Awareness felt distant, drifting slowly without direction. Breathing continued quietly, steady and smooth. Each breath carried the mind further into stillness. The body no longer felt separate in parts. It existed as a single, relaxed presence, whole and undisturbed. There was no sense of position or place. Only comfort remained. The mind no longer noticed the passing of moments. Everything blended together into a soft, continuous calm. Sleep was no longer approaching. It was already present, surrounding gently. The feeling was deep, safe, and complete. There was nothing to hold on to, and nothing to let go of. Rest continued naturally, without effort or awareness. The final edge of wakefulness softened until it was barely noticeable. Awareness floated gently, light and unanchored. There was no clear thought, no clear image, only a sense of calm drifting. The body remained completely at rest, heavy and supported. Breathing continued quietly, almost imperceptible. Time no longer existed in any recognizable way. Moments did not pass. They simply blended together. The mind did not resist this transition. It allowed itself to drift without effort. The quiet felt endless and safe. Nothing disturbed it. Nothing entered it. The feeling was gentle and complete, like floating just beneath the surface of sleep. There was no anticipation, no awareness of crossing a threshold. Rest existed fully in this space, holding everything softly, and within this calm, peaceful stillness, the last trace of wakefulness faded naturally. Sleep settled fully, not as an event, but as a state of being. There was no moment to notice its arrival. It simply became everything. Awareness softened until it dissolved completely into calm. There were no thoughts left to follow, no sensations asking to be named. The body rested in perfect ease, supported and still. Breathing continued on its own, quiet and steady, without awareness. There was no sense of time passing, no beginning, no end. The mind no longer observed rest. It existed within it. A deep, unbroken calm filled every space. Nothing moved, nothing changed. Everything remained exactly as it should be. This sleep felt smooth and continuous, free from dreams or images, just deep, gentle rest. The quiet held everything softly, like a vast, peaceful night without edges. And within this calm stillness, sleep remained, steady, safe, and complete. The night continued quietly, steady and kind, without interruption. Sleep remained deep and peaceful, holding everything gently. There were no dreams to disturb the calm, no sounds to draw awareness back. The body rested fully, supported and safe. Breathing flowed naturally, slow and even. The darkness felt warm rather than empty. It carried comfort, not uncertainty. Time no longer had meaning here. The night stretched, softly, unbroken and calm. Everything existed in perfect balance. Nothing shifted. Nothing needed attention. Sleep continued to cradle awareness, allowing rest to deepen and remain. The night stayed long and gentle, exactly as promised. Quiet, safe, complete. And in this deep state of calm, sleep held everything quietly, allowing rest to deepen and remain. And as the dream moved closer, everything felt calm, safe, and ready, resting quietly at the edge of deep, peaceful sleep.